All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Ariel Limas from Lone Depot. I'm pretty excited. I'm here with Hakeem, the man Love, on this Pauhana Friday.
Pauhana.
As you can see, we're having a couple drinks here, so cheers to that.
Cheers.
Don't mess up the equipment.
Appreciate you for having me, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited because one of the reasons we want to do this is we kind of want to show people we're real people, right?
Yes.
We are business people, but we're also real people.
We human beings.
Exactly. So, we were talking and say, what should this be? And I usually do this when I do it. I want it to be a natural vibe.
Right.
I want to get to know you. They want to get to know you.
Okay.
A little bit about me.
Okay.
I've been in the business for going on 9 years. I was a realtor back in Boston.
Boston.
Yeah, Beantown, baby. Sorry, Celtics. If you guys are watching this, I love the Celtics, but I'm just gonna get sad now. But anyways,
Yeah, we don't go there.
yeah, that's my dark place.
I want to get
I
you
don't
on
wanna
that,
get
but
there.
it's all good.
No, we'll be all happy now. But I came back to Hawaii in 2021, right before the pandemic, and then I was looking for a job, and then I started looking into the financial side of everything so that I can kind of know what the whole business is as a circle. So I know point A to point Z now, which is awesome. I think that makes me unique as a loan officer. I understand your language as a real estate agent.
That's good.
So that's kind of, why I think I do a good job in also, communicating with the clients on what your guys are saying or what I'm saying. Brings it all full circle.
Right. That's awesome, man. Just coming from a realtor standpoint and into doing loans, because maybe someday I may transition into doing loans.
Yeah, and I might be an agent, and then we can still work together that way.
We still work together, so that's cool. Coming from Boston, doing real estate out there, just probably crazy. Imagine how that was like.
Similar market, in terms of price wise. I would say here it's, as you know, it's a very niche market in the terms of it's in its own bubble. What pricing is and equity, how it grows year over year. So it's pretty nuts. But how did you get into it, Hakeem?
I came from California. I've been coming to Hawaii for like 20 years almost, like since early 2003, 2004, just coming back once, sometimes twice a year. Fell in love with the island, and just been coming back, bringing my family and stuff, loved ones, and but coming from California, I currently still practice in California. I have my active license
Me
in
too,
California.
by the way, if you need that.
Oh, you practice in Boston still?
No, Boston, California.
Oh, you do loans in California still?
do,
Oh, okay, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you outsource them or do you?
Oh, I do it myself.
You do them yourself?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So you're hands on with the California loans.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yes.
Because that brings me to this point. Like I still work with a lot of people transitioning relocation between California and Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I mean every aspect of it from A to Z. Because I went through it and I've helped others go through it. That means from getting your shipping containers, planning everything out. You really have to plan like a year or two in advance, especially if you have pets.
Yeah.
Like if you have pets, they have to have their shots and have to have their papers, and that's like 6 months in advance.
That's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother beast. But I help people with that whole process. So
that's cool.
I work with a team. As you see back in the background, I'm with Compass. I got the Lone Depot hat on. Thank you for the hat too, by the way.
Swagging out Lone Depot.
He gave me this hat, Lone Depot. We represent. Shout out to everybody out here. So I got my license for Hawaii during the pandemic.
Yep.
And I've been here for like maybe 2, 3, maybe I'm going on 3 years now.
Okay.
Permanent. Purchase property here and things like that. But how I got into real estate is that before I got my license, I bought my first home in California in 2008, and
that's right. At the height of the boom. The crash, I would say.
I was blessed, honestly. Like it was a perfect.
Was it like a straight out purchase, or was it a foreclosure, or?
It was a foreclosure.
So you capitalized on the 2008 market.
Yes, and I didn't know. It just happened to be perfect timing because honestly, I'm sitting there, thinking like, man, I'll never be able to purchase a home. It wasn't even in my mind.
Yeah.
There's people around me, never purchased home. I never saw that in my family mainly. Maybe a few people like uncles and aunties, but it wasn't close where I can grasp it and understand like purchasing real estate and building equity that way. It's just, and then I'm living in California where prices is no less than 200. Actually, back then, in 2007, it was like the average price point was still like around $1 million for a single family home. Wow. So I was looking at condos. I didn't buy one. I ended up getting a single family home. It was a foreclosure, and we got an FHA loan on that thing.
Nice.
You know, I want to say like 5% down, maybe 3.5% down.
3.5 is the lowest, yeah.
Yeah.
For FHA
So
loan.
I think I even came out of pocket. It was between like $5,000 to $7,000 down.
Yep.
Was just blessed with right timing, you know, and had that property, put money into it, had it for 12 years.
You still have it?
I sold it. I sold it, I want to say last year.
Okay, cool.
And I'm going to give you the insight on that. I bought it for $275,
Mm-hmm.
and then like 12 years later, I sold it for like $795.
Wow.
So I just want to show people, you know,
awesome.
people can do this stuff themselves.
Yeah.
Like people around me, I want to teach them this, building wealth through real estate, building equity.
Absolutely.
Creating family legacies and on and on. So that's how I kind of got into it. Then my realtor at the time, I bought that house, and then 2 years later, I ended up buying a rental property in Vallejo, California.
Okay.
And shout out to E40 Vallejo. So ended up buying that, and that was before I had my license. So the realtor that was working with me then was like, "Man, you guys, you get it, man. You get your license, and you can work with me. You can just work as a referral agent, where you only pay $2,000, and you refer me business."
Right.
So I thought about that's a good idea, but instead of giving you $2,000, or instead of making $2,000 off of each referral I give you, why don't I just pay my dues, because you have to pay your membership dues, and why don't I just go full-fledged?
Exactly.
So I get the bulk of it.
Absolutely.
So I did that. I ended up getting my license, working with him, small boutique brokerage, for about like a year. And then I was able to transition to another bigger brokerage, still boutique, but bigger, and did that. Shout out to Klein Real Estate, Klein, back in the day. So did that, and then they dissolved the business. Went out and Coldwell Banker bought them. Okay. And then I didn't want to go with Coldwell at that point, so I went with Compass and was on the team, and just transitioned from there, and ended up creating my own team in Compass in California, and came here, started my business here, and trying to connect with great people like yourself.
I appreciate it.
So that's kind of my story, man, in a nutshell.
No, I mean that's great. I mean the best thing about Hawaii sometimes is that it is like a melting pot at some sorts, you know.
Right.
Everyone's got a story. Like if you're not born here, you have a story that kind of crazily got you here.
Right.
You know, like I came all the way across the country.
You came a long
essentially
way.
5,000 miles.
Man, you came a long way.
I rack up those miles, Hawaiian miles, when I go home.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's good. It's good points.
You got to.
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, to think about that too, because I was thinking about as you were talking, I have the same mentality where I didn't really know anything about real estate or especially my credit. Forget about that. Like I was dumb, 18-year-old. Got a credit card in the mail.
Just swipe.
$500. No, it's even dumber. So, you know what a pull tab is?
A pull tab?
Pull tab.
Pull?
Pull. P-U-L-L.
No,
so a pull tab essentially is like the first iteration of a scratch ticket. So there's 5 lines.
You mean like a scratch off?
Like a scratch off, right? But except you pull the tabs, and if they match, you get the prize or whatever the ticket says.
Okay.
So there was this place where we all used to hang out, and they had these machines. And on the machine, it would tell you how many tickets are left, and then on the sides, it'll tell you which prizes were won. So I was like with my boys, and I was like, I got this great idea how we're going to get all this money. Because you look at the board, and there's like $2,000, $1,000, $100, $500. Let's buy out the machine. They're $1 a ticket. So it looked like there was about $500 left in my assumption, right? So I'm like, I don't have any cash like that. So I went, got my credit card, stuck it in an ATM machine, made the PIN, took out $500
You
cash.
pulled $500 out of your ATM?
Out of my credit card.
Oh, the credit card.
My credit card.
Part of the ATM. Right.
Yep.
Right.
So, and then I was like throwing money in. We weren't really winning anything. Long story short, we won like maybe $50 altogether, and I didn't realize
But you
that
lost
this
450.
this machine, and all the prizes was all around the whole place because it was like a big kind of pool hall
So
and
that
everything.
means you would have spent $50,000 to buy out the
Basically.
whole.
So I was like, I thought I was smart. And I was like, oh, we got this. And me and my boys were like, yeah, I'll pay you back.
Hey,
you know?
remind me never to go to Vegas with you.
No, I was 18 years old. I'm going to Vegas. So.
He's like,
Also,
I'm going to Vegas.
don't go to Vegas with me either.
Yes, I just.
My girl, she's
Yeah.
she knows.
Yeah, it's all good, bro.
But so I learned about that, and I was like, what? And I screwed up my credit, and it was like
Damn. Just like that in one 30
one
minutes.
fail swoop, and I didn't know that you had to pay this right back
You don't
and
know.
interest, and then I went to school and I dropped out, and so then I had student loans, and then I went back to school, and then I had more student loans. So by the time I was like 22, 23, like I was making good money. What I was doing, I was a bartender, server, working at 2-3 different restaurants, and making money, but I didn't even have a bank account. I just had like cash all the time. So like I didn't know what to do with it. And I wanted to buy a nice car. I was like, I don't want to buy it all in cash.
You 18, bro. You gotta make
Man, I learned
Yeah.
the hard way, but I fixed it.
Right. That's
One
the key.
day,
That's key.
I got a secured credit card. I called up every single debt company that I knew, and I was like, okay, what do I owe you? How can I pay you this and that? And then within 2 years, I got my credit score up to like a 780.
I heard about the secured credit card as a way of building your credit in a faster rate, right?
Yep.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
I've heard of something like that. Getting
Yeah, so it's a really good kind of trick too. And anybody that has kids out there, a cool trick too is once they get a little bit older, you can put them on your credit card as an authorized user, and when they get old enough to apply for a credit card, or maybe they got a car, they got a summer job, they'll credit will be already
that's
in like the
smart.
700s.
Yeah, that's
It's
smart.
pretty cool.
That's smart. And that way you're teaching them about responsibility early.
Very
'Cause
early.
You letting them know that, hey, this is just not free money. You just swipe. Because that was the problem with a lot of people like my family, right? Like you think you got this credit card, but not realize there's interest and you got to pay that back.
No idea.
So I started learning that if you really don't have the cash to buy something and pay cash for it, don't do it.
Yep.
Like, because when I learned, like, when I use that credit card, try to pay the total amount on the next bill cycle.
Yep. It's tough because I no one told me that.
Yeah.
I come from an immigrant family, so I'm first generation. My parents are Colombian, so they're Colombianos. Yeah, shout out to Colombia.
Shout out to Colombia.
The bracelet. But that mentality, it's the immigrant mentality. You come here and you just work your ass off.
Yeah.
And then you achieve your goal that way. I think the business you or I in can expand that so much more. Because once you own a home, that opens so many doors financially. It's ridiculous.
I couldn't believe it. Like, I had no credit. I had zero credit when I got that home.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? I had zero credit, and back then in 2008, my wife and I, at the time, we were like, there was no credit. And after paying the bill on time, the mortgage, my credit shot up, bro. I was
Huge.
like, I'm in the 700s in no time.
Yeah.
750s.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I was just shocked, like, damn, for real? Wow. And it was an FHA loan, so I remember. So, and then from that point on, it just kind of started from there.
Yeah.
Like I said, I purchased it for $270, and then sold it for like $7 something.
Yeah, and you got all this equity, and you're like, whoa. And
And
to think if somebody told me that, man, when I was younger.
Yeah. So I made the dream of Hawaii a reality.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I come to the island with the most humbleness of aloha and
Absolutely.
ohana spirit, and I work with a lot of people that are really from here, and I understand, the perception sometimes, and my mission and my goal, and with the most respect, is to try to put as many people I can into homes.
Yep.
Regardless of where your background is.
Absolutely.
If you're from these lands, great. That's
Yep.
is the way we can do it. It just have to. It takes some discipline. It takes some focus, and you just have to get with the right team and the right people to make that happen. So,
It
I
takes
love
a
my
plan.
first time home buyers.
Yeah, same thing. I try to work with the local market because you know, there's respect to everyone that's in the military and VA. I work with them
Shout
as
out
well.
to VA. Shout out to everybody who served.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. You know, it's just the local market is kind of overseen sometimes, you know. So I try to, for at least for myself, you know, my goal coming from an immigrant family is that I want to help you. Like, I've put people in homes and it's been very emotional. And it's not even just, they're going to remember you for the rest of their lives. That's crazy. That blows my mind. Somebody told me that the other day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they were like, this person's like, we're gonna always remember you.
Every time they walk in that door, like
exactly, they're crazy. Like when did you buy your first home? Blah blah, blah whoever it was, and like, you know, the loan officer, myself, and I'm like, wow. They're like, you helped us through it, you guided us, and there's been plans where I'm like, listen, if you do this in the next 6 months, I can get you in a home. I will give you all the tools. I will show you exactly what to do, but the work comes from you guys, because I can't make these phone calls. I can't make you save money. I can't tell you to go to Starbucks or, you know, go to Zippy's or whatever it may be, you know.
I just had Zippy's yesterday.
Shout out to Zippy, sponsor us.
Zippy's, let's go. Send a check. Yeah.
We'll be wearing Zippy's hats next.
Right. Well, that's dope, man. That's great, man. I feel the same way, man. It's just that feeling you get, you know, because you were in that position with them before, and you didn't have the people around you to give you that knowledge or get that information or even hold your hand.
Exactly.
And a lot of people think it's out of reach. Like, I thought it was out of reach. You know, I thought it was way out of reach for me.
Yeah. It blows my mind that people think they can't do something.
Right.
You know, I think a lot of people at times, they don't even ask the questions because they're afraid of the answer. And the answer might be, you know, yes, because I never say no to anybody. Because the truth is, we can get you a home, but it's going to take a year, 2 years. What do you want to do?
And I like that because you give them a plan of action.
Exactly.
Right. And
That's
everybody's not
important.
ready next week or next month or next year. You know, but if you can put them on the right path, and all you have to do is this, and this, and you'll get there. You just stay the course. So that's what I tell them too. So I love the fact that you said that.
I mean, it's a thing that's always been ingrained in me in terms of how I work. It's like, you can't say no to everybody. You shouldn't. No shouldn't be an answer, because especially in this business or any sort of sales that you're doing, you can get somebody there. It's just going to be a lot harder. Right. Which I'm not afraid of hard work. I never shy away from hard work. You know, I'm here all the time, working on the weekends. Yeah.
You work hard, baby.
I work really hard. Yeah. So you know.
That's what's up. Yeah.
And then I also like to have fun. You know.
Yeah.
But that's the best part of this job too. We can kind of dictate our lives a little bit more. We have the freedom to help people, and then also we do make a living off of it, which is pretty nice. You know.
Right. And it's the freedom. Key word stood out there. It creates freedom. It creates time with your loved ones, your family.
Yep.
And the best joy I get from that, man, is creating freedom for other people.
Yeah.
You know. You know. They once said, I think I did a podcast with some good friends of mine back in Oakland, California, and we was doing a podcast with them, and the question was, how do you judge success? And I was like, I thought about it for a minute. I was like, well, I just, I mean, at the end of the day, having money, being able to take care of your family, go on trips and free up time and pay the bills, that's beautiful. That's lovely. But I think I mentioned to them, I judge success on how many other people I make successful. You know what I mean? Like,
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
I could be a millionaire, right? But how many other millionaires did I create or help create?
That's an awesome way to look at it.
So, you know, that
I never thought of it that way.
I mean, that's how you, at a certain point, you know, you get to a certain age and you're like, man, it's, you know,
we're the same age.
I look a little younger though, huh?
I got a beard, so if I shave my beard,
I look a little younger.
But I mean, no, I never honestly have heard it that way. You know, a lot of times people say like success is, it's not monetary. At a point, it is, because you want to be able to provide, and financial freedom is one of those things that kind of helps you do the things you want to do.
Right.
Be at your kids' soccer games or wherever it may be. Spend that dinner with mom. You know, like I come from a huge family, and I love the shit out of my family. I love them; they're amazing.
That's beautiful, man.
And it kills me sometimes when I get all these messages from my family, and they're like doing all these things, and I'm like, I wish I could be there. I'm like, well, I'm here and I'm working, and you know, I'm gonna be able to get there as soon as I can. I try to go at least twice a year, you know, but it's like you see that, and I know that's where my hard work comes from. Because my grandfather came here with two of my other uncles, and then they were just working. He bought his house. He told me this. The last time, since I got into being a loan officer, I asked my grandfather when he first came here, I was like, what'd you do? He's like, well, I worked at a meat market, and he was so good at the meat market. When he first
got here?
Yep, when he first got to Boston.
Okay. So he came directly to Boston from Columbia.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And then he worked in like a meat market, and he was so good at what he was doing. And then he also was working at some sort of factory, and he was doing really well. And he had to go back because his work visa was up. So then they were like, all right, we'll get you your visa. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Nowadays, that doesn't really happen as much. It has to be like a high-profile job. So he came back, and then they got him a job, and then he bought a house.
So the job got him his visa.
Yep.
Even from back then, I think that's remarkable.
Yeah. So he was so good at his job at the time that he got it.
You got to, come on. Let us know what we need to do to make it happen.
No, it's like crazy. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, oh, and then he goes, I worked here for like 2 years, and I bought my house for $35,000. It's like a 8-bedroom, 3.5-bath house outside of Boston.
What year was
suburb
this?
of Boston.
60s,
mid to late 60s, I think.
What did he end up?
He still has it. My grandmother will not leave. It's the
two
two of them. It's the two of them.
They still. Oh, that's beautiful.
The two of them. They're still together. They're still alive. They're healthy and kicking. It's awesome.
Bless him.
But that's where I get my drive from. My grandfather coming from another country and then taking his 7 kids to a brand new country.
Man,
so like
that's amazing. It kind of reminds me of my story a little bit.
Yeah.
My family is originally from Memphis, Tennessee, and I think I got some ties to Mississippi.
Okay.
Like the deep South, like back in the day. So I remember my grandmother. I remember growing up in like government housing, the projects in Memphis. I was a little dude, little baby, and I remember her getting up, walking up the hill, and catching the bus to go drive an hour out to clean rich people's houses. Have you ever seen that movie, The Help?
Yeah.
That was my grandmother.
Ooh, that's a great movie.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she did that for a living, like, from sun up to sundown. She'd get home late.
I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah. And my mother had 7 children.
Ooh.
So my mother had 7 children, plus my dad had 1 without my mom. So I guess a total of 8 of us all together. So just imagine, just imagine that household.
That's crazy.
Just imagine that household, and she worked and was, and honestly, to be full transparent, we was on government assistance.
Yeah.
You gotta be with 7 kids.
When I was younger, my parents had to have some help. So
yeah, you had to have that
government cheese,
what you know about, boy? What you know about government cheese?
I used to get some government cheese. I used to make the best
big
grilled
blocks,
huge blocks, and
the thing is thick.
Yeah, and then the rip off. I always wanted Lucky Charms, but I got Happy Wizards. I think it was.
Oh, you had the fake Lucky Charms. Oh, you was happy with that? Yeah.
Oh, I was happy as all hell.
We had the real Lucky Charms. We had the little fake ones, but we was cool. We got the little marshmallows in it.
I think the beauty of just bringing it all kind of come full circles. I had no idea that I was poor.
We didn't realize it.
I didn't realize it, and I was like, I thought, rice and popcorn for breakfast was the best thing in the world. Little did I know that's all we had at the time.
Rice and popcorn.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Try it; it's delicious.
I might. That sounds good, kind of. Rice, popcorn, and Rice Krispie treats, maybe.
Oof, we couldn't get those. We couldn't get marshmallows. Come on, get out.
Oh yeah, I agree, man. Like with me, the government cheese, the peanut butter. With just a silver and black can, it just said peanut butter. Wasn't no labels. It wasn't no Jiffy. It wasn't none of that. Oh man, I can go real deep, but I think I get a lot of my drive from my father because my father never really worked a 9-to-5 job. My father was like a street vendor where he sold T-shirts, sold body oils, incense,
salesman.
Just man, we had knockoff Gucci shirts in like the 80s. That's really good. Like he would go, we would drive around, do these big festivals everywhere, set up tents and have T-shirts all around the tent, and we have incense and body oils and sunglasses and and he did. And then we came to the era of bootleg cassette tapes.
Oh,
Yeah, before CDs.
yep. I had
go
cassettes.
a little bit back before you.
No, I had cassettes.
You had cassettes? You
Yep.
had like 2 or 3.
I mean, no, I had the whole box thing with all the things you can put them in.
Oh yeah, the case.
And the case, you zip it open.
The case.
Yeah.
So I used to sell out of that case.
Oh,
I used to
nice.
go in front of like a grocery store.
Yeah.
He'll set me up with a bunch of tapes and just sell. It was $5 a pop, and we had the printed out covers. The plastic, it was all wrapped up, but they were just knockoffs.
Right.
That was before bootlegging was a thing.
Yeah.
So that's where he came from. He did really good, but he just wasn't good at managing the money. But I think that's where a lot of my drive come from. So it's a similar.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's the hustle. It's the grind.
It's that grind, baby.
It's just from starting
It's
from
in
day
you. It's
one.
not on you.
Yeah.
It's in
100%.
you. You can look
You
good,
make
but
the
it's
T-shirt. That's the
it's
T-shirt.
in you. It's not on you.
I like that.
Yes, sir.
I like that. But no, I mean, that's awesome. I mean, both translating that to the real estate, what kind of differentiates you besides your hustle?
What differentiates me from a lot of maybe other realtors is, for one, that I hold dual license in 2 states
Awesome.
and currently active in both states. It's a juggle. It's a challenge because you got to
Right.
get the right people and the right team around you. And a lot of times personalities don't match, and people, see different visions.
Yep.
So that's one right there. Just doing real estate in Hawaii and in California and trying to make that happen, because the client may not see me over there, but I have a reliable team. So that's probably one, just doing both markets. Number 2 is that I work with a lot of investors. I got the shirt on
the shirt,
right
there
now.
you go.
Yes, sir. I got the blue check, baby.
Blue check?
It cost me $3 to get that blue check.
For the shirt or the check?
The blue check. It's $3. Instagram, shout out to Instagram for taking my $3 for a blue check.
Verify me for cheap. For free, actually.
Verify me for free. Yeah, that's it. So I understand what people are looking for in an investing standpoint. They want to make money. They may want to come here. They may want to purchase now but retire in 5 years. So they don't want the property to sit vacant.
Right.
And it's not big margins here in Hawaii.
Right.
Let's just be real. But if you can put like a family member in it until
Yeah.
you get here, which I see a lot of,
Yeah.
especially with like overseas money coming in, or investors,
Yeah.
they may put their kids or grandkids in it, or someone. A lot of people retire, may want to come here
Yeah.
and may have to sell a home on the mainland first.
Yeah.
They want to purchase now, and we'll get it set up where you can be able to rent it out until you get here. So I think those are a couple things that may stand apart from, because
Cool.
I'm actively investing myself. So.
I moved the table a little bit. My bad. But no, I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I'm so glad you came in. So
Appreciate
glad
it,
that
man.
we
Thank y'all
got
for having me,
to
man.
talk and get to know you, and hopefully we
sir.
can do this again. And then
Yeah, let's keep the momentum going.
yeah, absolutely.
Think
Why
about
not?
a name what we gonna call it. I would love to do something like this once
It's
a
gonna
month.
be called All Love with Hakeem Love.
Some, I don't know, some cool, something to capture the audience. We want to make people smile.
Definitely.
We want to give them some business. Like let them know that they can make things happen. But we want them to have fun and.
Absolutely.
You're a funny cat, man.
Thank
You're a
you. I
funny
appreciate
dude
it.
anyway.
Funny looking.
Your
That's good.
demeanor, funny looking. Your demeanor is like, you like level, but you fun, because I hung out with you a couple times.
Yeah, we did.
Maybe at least once for sure.
Yes.
And you're a funny dude, bro.
Thanks, man. Well, I appreciate you coming again. I'm
Thank you,
Ari.
thank you.
This is Hakeem Love. So hit
Thank
us
y'all
up if
for
you have
having
any
me.
questions in terms of real estate, life questions.
Can we
Wanna-
throw Long Depot up on the thing?
next time?
Next time?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
But
I just
I-
want to give a shout out to Long Depot, that's all. I know
Appreciate
Compass is my brokerage. I'm with Compass here in California, so.
Well, cheers to that.
Yes, sir.
And then you got the Lone Depot koozie, so we're good.
Good, I'm going home with it.
You can take it home. All right.